Well, congratulations, and my goodness, you were fantastic in this. And first thing I want to ask you is, what was more intimidating, the first time you ever stepped into a ring, or playing a character that's a Marvel legend?
I've not been asked that. I think I have to be honest. I think the first time I stepped into a ring, because I think I didn't know what I was doing. I was at that point I was still I had real bad stage fright when I was a kid. I didn't like speaking in front of people. I didn't like being in front of people, and I was just first time I was ever in the ring. That was my first taste of actually performing, and I was terrified to say the least. But stepping on stage for the first time here, I was nervous, but I don't think I didn't face any physical danger, so
Yeah.
it wasn't that fear there.
Exactly. And then, plus you're working with these great actors. I mean, you have, you kind of have love all around you. It's
sure.
not like any egos really here with this cast.
No.
So what was it like to be able to work with, Chris Pratt and
Yeah.
Zoe and all of them? They're just so wonderful.
They are, and that was the cool thing about it is because I knew I was stepping up, and these guys were really huge name actors who were already well established. And I knew how big the movie was going to be, but it was no pressure, man. It was no pressure. Chris and I clicked right off the bat from our very first meeting, and then Zoe was actually the last cast member or last member of the cast that I met, and she met me for the first time with a big old hug. I mean, that was her first introduction to me, and so it really was. It was like really no pressure, and these guys, they just kind of accepted me like right off the bat. They knew I was new to acting and stuff, but they never made me feel like anything less than they're equal.
How Marvel savvy were you before you took on this part? Because Marvel, it's a big deal. So many fans out there.
Yeah, not only, and there's just so many comics, and I mean they go back so many years. It's I'm always like super impressed by the real Marvel geeks, and they it's hard, man. And I don't even try to pretend like I know nearly as much about it as them, because I didn't grow up reading comics and stuff.
Yeah.
I was more familiar with Marvel through cartoons and television and film.
So when you took Drax, did you have the ability to kind of make him your own a little bit? Like, was there what did the director say to you in terms of allowing you to make him your own?
Yeah, no, I mean he was, I definitely stuck to the script. I mean not completely, but I kind of got a grasp of who James wanted Drax to be, which I think is why I was cast as Drax. But yeah, I mean, we played with him a lot, and I brought some of my own emotion, a little bit of my own humor, because a lot of stuff we did, even made the final edit, was actually improv stuff. But no, I mean, I think James had a certain vision of Drax, and that's who he wanted him to be, and that's why I was cast in the role.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you get any advice or, from, say, somebody like The Rock, who of course, very well, and who you've been in a film with him, and but how to kind of balance an acting career and your sports career?
It's funny, I did, and it wasn't until well after the fact. I just saw him at this past WrestleMania, and we talked a bit about it because he was, and he put it in really good terms for me, really good perspective. He said the WWE it's like quicksand, which it really is, because once you get there, and especially if he loves it and I love it, and you love being there so much, and it really is. It's kind of an adrenaline rush. You just don't get anywhere else. And it's real easy to get stuck there and forget about Hollywood, because you need to be out there auditioning and stuff like that to get roles in films. But yeah, so we talked about it. He was like, you can't get stuck in the quicksand, man. You got to get out there and audition, because film industry, it's hard. It's a hard industry. So yeah, we talked a little bit. He was full of good advice, actually.
So the acting bug gets bit, I think.
Yeah, and then some. Yeah, and I remember when it hit me, and it was still when I was with the company, but. Yeah, I caught it and developed a real deep passion for acting, and so now, that's kind of what I'm focused on.
So what would you like to do? Like, now you've done the Marvel. You're obviously committed to this. There's going to be more.
Right.
This is going to make trillions of dollars. It's so fantastic. But is there something, something dramatic? Like, where would you like to go? I know that you did some Shakespeare when you started, practicing.
Yeah, I did. And that's actually that's what I always aspired to do. I never thought that I'd be like, an action star. I didn't want to be a movie star. I never thought I'd be in a Marvel film. I really just fell in love with acting, and kind of the stuff that I was a fan of was the dramatic, very dialogue-driven roles, and that's still the kind of stuff I'm going to pursue, because it's what I love. And it's what that's where I feel like you really have to be on your acting game, for movies like that. The Quentin Tarantino style dialogue, the Scorsese stuff, and Guy Ritchie, I'm a huge fan of. These are all types of films that I like aspire to be in.
Well, good luck to you. I'm telling you, you've got a career ahead of you. I can, aside from the being in the ring, which we hope we still see you in there.
Yeah,
but
sure.
you were so fantastic in this.
Thank you.
I can't even wait for the next one already.
Yeah,
so
no.
get going on that, all right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So lovely to meet
Yeah,
you. Thank you
it's
so
nice to
much
meet
for
you.
your time,
Yeah,
Dave.
thank
Thank
you.
you.